Om Bhurбhuvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayantam. Namaste everyone, so we continue our videos on Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. Greatest book, not only about actually Kriya Yoga tradition, but it's a most famous book even now, though it's published in 1946, but even now it's the most famous book about meditation, yoga and self-development. And so it's not my first video about this book, so we continue our discussion and contemplation. Chapter 35, it's the title goes like The Christ-like Life of Lahiri Mahasaya. So chapter number 35 is about Lahiri Mahasaya, so-called father of Kriya Yoga. He was born 1829 and left his physical body 1895. So exactly Lahiri Baba, actually in India normally people call him not Lahiri Mahasaya but Lahiri Baba. Well, he was direct disciple of Mahatma Babaji, immortal Mahatma Guru from Himalayas, and exactly Lahiri Baba was and is responsible in a good sense, for the propagation of the Kriya Yoga. And now all over the world, different masters, groups, gurus, mystics, ashrams, they teach meditation of Kriya Yoga, different kinds of Kriya Yoga actually, but that was the beginning. Lahiri Baba, exactly, he was the one who brought this huge knowledge to the people. Now we have so many information about different seminars, workshops, groups, and it's look like only lazy is not teaching Kriya Yoga now. But really it's a quite big question, and for somebody even painful question, that what does it mean authentic Kriya Yoga, and is it possible that everyone may start Kriya Yoga center, Kriya Yoga group, or teach Kriya Yoga? And actually not everyone. I mean, if we approach spirituality with all that democracy and liberal approach to life, of course everyone, no question. But at the same time, let me ask you in a sense similar question. Maybe not everyone will agree with me, but anyway, is it possible for everyone to start church, Christian church? I mean, according to the liberal and democratic standards, I mean, you can just collect a group of followers, disciples, and say, I'm speaking directly with Jesus, and he is telling me to establish one more church, and actually go make the papers, registration, all that legal procedure, and start one more Christian church. Maybe it's wonderful, maybe it's nice, I don't know actually, but at the same time, there are traditional churches. Maybe they are not perfect. Maybe we are always discussing about Greek Orthodox, Russian Orthodox, Syrian Church, and Roman Catholic Church, Coptic Church, but they are traditional churches. They have initiation tradition from the time of Jesus, then apostles, then bishops, fathers of the church, and even if they are not perfect, but still they have a history, they have a real meaning in baptism, in all that kind of things. But if, for example, somebody just a couple of weeks back, or maybe a couple of centuries back, just proclaiming, telling to the people, okay, I'm starting a new church. I mean, that's a not easy question, but is it really Christian church at all? And the same basically with the Kriya Yoga. I mean, everyone may say, well, tomorrow I start my Kriya Yoga workshop, come on, come to me. But is it really proper? It's a questionable stuff. Authentic Kriya Yoga tradition is the one which came directly or indirectly from Mahatma Gurus from Himalayas. And first of all, of course, we are speaking about greatest Himalayan immortal master, who is Mahavatar Babaji. And if any Kriya Yoga parampara, how we call it in Sanskrit, I mean tradition of the gurus, if they come directly from Mahavatar Babaji, then that is authentic Kriya Yoga. Of course, some Kriya Yoga traditions, they come not from Mahavatar Babaji directly, but from some other immortal Mahatma Gurus, for example, from Goraknath Babaji, from Agastya Muni, from Babaji Nagaraj, etc. And it's not easy, to recognize genuine tradition and the fake one. And yeah, that's not easy stuff, because now more and more people are, telling publicly, sharing with so-called personal experiences, like, okay, many people now say that they are direct disciples of Mahavatar Babaji or whatever, blah blah. And also the big question, how can we really recognize who is really came as the good messenger with the good news from Mahavatar Babaji, with the Kriya Yoga tradition, or who is just advertising himself or herself? Because what is the situation now in esoteric traditions, Kriya Yoga traditions, Yogic, etc. If you just say that, well, I am a direct disciple of Mahavatar Babaji, I came directly from immortal Mahatma Gurus, immediately I guarantee you huge success, and a crowd, huge number of disciples and followers run to you and worship you. But so it's always questionable, because really Mahatma Gurus, especially Mahavatar Babaji, but other Mahatma Gurus from Himalayas as well, they are real and wonderful source of tradition. But now people are just making all kinds of business out of that, and we have to be careful, because it's your good or bad karma, it's your good or bad intellect, good or bad intuition, good or bad ability to discriminate, and then finally your responsibility. But please remember, not everyone who is speaking about Kriya Yoga, not everyone who is speaking about Mahavatar Babaji is really in any way connected with this tradition. So Yogananda describing life of Lahiri Baba, 19th century father of Kriya Yoga, and that's real authentic source of Kriya Yoga knowledge. And okay, actually in a different, even authentic schools of Kriya Yoga, we have a different kinds of meditation techniques, and some of them are quite similar, but difference is there anyway. Okay, Lahiri Mahasaya carefully graded Kriya Yoga into 4 progressive initiations. So that's a message from Yogananda. Actually, the Kriya Yoga, it's a huge bunch of meditation techniques, extremely ancient. If you ask me how many Kriya Yoga meditation techniques we have, my answer is very simple. I have no idea. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. I mean, any given authentic Kriya Yoga tradition easily may teach you sometimes, 5, 10 or 15 techniques, but of course we may suppose that Mahatma Gurus, they have any number of techniques, but of course the point is not to collect more techniques, but to practice carefully and with a good concentration, maybe a limited number of techniques, but to do it properly. And when Yogananda is telling us that there are 4 steps in a Kriya Yoga, the meaning is that in a time back in 19th century, time of Lahiri Baba, he was teaching his disciples like as the 4 major steps. Later on, different branches, even authentic Kriya Yoga, they started to divide it into like 6, 7 steps, even sometimes 9 steps. So it means how many steps is not really important, but just we have to understand that each step is sometimes 3, 4, 5, 6 techniques, and then the next step is another 2 or 3 techniques. And the human mind is such that we always hope that more mantras, more meditation techniques, greater result we can achieve, but of course that's not the point. Of course, I'm sure you remember pretty well the famous story, like one disciple came to Lahiri Baba and asked for the next and the next initiation, and then Lahiri Baba gave him wonderful example how some humble disciples, and we have even names of that disciples, they practice just first so-called first step, but they already able to experience bliss, divine consciousness, etc. I'm practicing meditation of Kriya Yoga all my life, and I was learning Kriya Yoga meditation from my personal guru, whose name was Yogi Ramak, and he was direct disciple of Mahadar Babaji. That's very interesting school and a branch in a Kriya Yoga tradition. And we have Kriya Kundalini Pranayama, that is set of meditation, 7 techniques, and another set of meditation techniques, it's a so-called Sampurna Kriya, which is 18 huge big techniques. And when I teach people, I always come across such a funny and sad, in a sense, situations when sometimes people really just wish more stuff. In a social life, gives us idea that more money means better, more cars, more whatever is better, but really real success is happiness. If you are happy, if you're in a state of peace, that means you are a successful person. And you know, sometimes people, they have more more money, less money, more just a number of huge property, less property. Who cares? If you have a good health, if you have time, if you're a free person, you may live your own life, you may fulfill your life purpose, you may travel, enjoy, you may meditate, mix with the nice people, then you are really successful. And the same thing is, when you come to the field of spirituality, please do not think that more is better. It's not like that. It's never function like that. More stuff is more stuff. It's an ego trick. I mean, you must get result. I mean, if you suppose, unfortunately, it's possible that you have a health problem, okay, badly ill, okay, take more tablets, more pills, more medical treatment. What's going to be as a result? Who knows? Maybe you will die soon, because you don't need to take more tablets. You need take that much, maybe just one or two. You don't need mountains of tablets. And when people wish like mountains of meditation techniques and more mantras, what are you going to do with them? I mean, if you're really able to practice a lot of meditation, a lot of mantras, that's wonderful. But you have to be precisely clear how many techniques are ready to practice, how many mantras. So the result means bliss, peace, oneness, absolute consciousness, actual experience of divine light, bliss. That's that what is success in meditation, not the next and the next step. Lahiri Baba was absolutely clear, and we have a lot of stories as the oral tradition and as information from this autobiography of a yogi. Lahiri Baba was very clear about, for example, that family life and the social life never can be an obstacle for the meditation and spirituality. Lahiri Baba himself was family guy, and his wife, great lady, in the beginning she was not supporting actually him, but later on she understood greatness of her husband, and she became his disciple and really even saint. Lahiri Baba was the father for 5 children. He was working all his life as just a counter in the British military office. As you remember, 19th century, it was a time when India was a part of British Empire. And it was not an obstacle. Okay, office, family, children. I mean, what is the problem? You can anyway meditate every morning and every evening and grow spiritually. And Lahiri Baba was very clear about, very subtle and very complicated question about, is it possible, is it good to create institution, to create, schools, to create ashram. I mean, let us call it institution, about, for the spirituality. Is it good institution? Okay, when I ask you a question about spirituality and institution, maybe even you can't understand the question itself. because everywhere we have institution. Anyway, you have to pay taxes. If you take even just some payment, if you have property for the your spiritual activity, if you have a publishing activity, if you have seminars, workshops, naturally you must have this or that kind of institution, it's like legal stuff. But the point is that, it's a brilliant, but Lahiri Baba was telling that we have to be very careful about, how to create institution for the purpose of meditation, spreading meditation and spirituality, because Lahiri Baba's point was, and I agree with him, by the way, if we're not careful enough creating social institutions for the spreading of spirituality, actually meditation is dying the next day after you create institution. Okay, wait a moment, you can ask how it's possible, because what was the life of Lahiri Baba? He was just sitting in peacefully in his house and giving lectures, teaching people, and it was no any legal institution, and he was just privately dealing with students and the visitors, and that was wonderful. That was space for the meditation, space in a spiritual sense, not physical one. I mean, if you practice, you practice meditation, then you teach meditation, and all the people who come to you are just your friends, even not students, and then you can freely discuss whatever philosophical question and practice meditation. But just imagine, just see all around what's happened. Even here in India now, I'm traveling in India. Actually, I'm traveling in India for last 30 years. I visited a lot of ashrams, and it's a big problem, because ashram means institution, ashram means management, ashram means property, bank account, copyright, all the legal and financial stuff. And meditation, pure meditation, died pretty fast after you create institution. That was message from Lahiri Baba. And of course you can ask, well, but we are modern people, and doesn't matter, you can teach in the United States, in Germany, in China, in Japan, in India, everywhere you have some legal papers even to start your meditation workshop. But you have to be careful. I mean, institution must be okay. If you need to pay taxes, I hope you must pay taxes. Actually, that's the proper procedure. But be careful with the institution, because the moment you create your office, your managers, then your managers will force you to think more about profit and income than about meditation, because absolute freedom is a necessity, the condition for the real spirituality.